Welcome to episode 58 of the Rebel Army podcast, the official podcast of Cork City Football Club. And this week we talk to the new club captain, Fiacre Kelleher. Back after a bit of an absence for a number of reasons, but I'm joined as always by Aaron Howie. How are you?
Not too bad, Stephen. How are you?
I think the injury crisis extended to the podcast, did it? What happened to you?
I did a bit of damage to my ankle a couple of weeks ago, but I'm on the mend.
In Bishopstown,
Bishopstown, yeah, genuinely the injury crisis, yeah.
It was a sliding tackle.
Oh, it was an awful 2-footed challenge in the office.
Was it Aina?
It was Aina, yeah. I'll blame Aina. No, it's not too bad. I'm back. I'm kind of moving. I'm driving. I'm walking. So
good to see.
Podcasting.
So that was combined. You doing that to your leg, and then the following week I was away. I was revisiting a famous win that Liam Carney reminisces about a lot. So I was over in Malmo in Sweden, and I was outside their stadium.
Funnily enough, I did a quick video piece with Carney last week, and one of the first comments on Instagram was Mick Ring saying, "Ask him, did he score a goal against Malmo?" So that Malmo goal, it does get referenced once or twice.
And actually, so I put up a picture, I think, from outside the stadium or whatever. Oh, outside their club shop, because they have a club shop in this big supermarket thing anyway, shopping centre. And the first person to like it was Liam
Carney. Shock. Brilliant, though.
He must get a notification for when Malmo is mentioned.
His alerts on for Malmo, yeah.
So I didn't get to see Malmo play. They were playing against Gothenburg, but that was sold out. But I saw another little small team playing in the stadium, which is the old stadium now where Cork City played, AFC Malmo. It was kind of second division Sweden, and saw that. And actually saw a Champions League qualifier, went to see Copenhagen versus Basel, which is totally different experience. Even like a lot of the listeners might have gone to games in England and all that. They might have gone to European games. I found it like fascinating, nearly the aggression and the support. You know, just kind of like shouting and roaring. You know, the kind of clap thing that the Icelandic. Bit of that, but
the Viking clap kind of thing.
Up the shouting and roaring. Like, do you know the way we kind of banter from the shed and stuff like that, and the singing and it's kind of mocking the other team and stuff. There seems like it's an intimidation type of thing.
That's class, though.
So it was class. And then the Swiss were kind of doing it as well. So it was, I was really good in Copenhagen won. But but I was delighted to see Cork City won while I was away as well.
Oh, we'll talk about it later on. You'll probably talk to Fiacre about it as well. But like, there's been in the last couple of weeks, 3 really good results, really encouraging results.
Fantastic.
Obviously, the 2 against Waterford and the 1 against Galway as well, which... It's been brilliant.
It's been brilliant. Obviously, I think we recorded the last podcast the day before the Waterford game, if I'm right, as in the league, the cup match.
Yeah.
With Brian, and obviously that we got huge feedback.
Massive reaction to that one. Yeah, there's a lot of. I think that's our most listened to episode this year, and you can tell by the messages we've received and the coverage on social media, it's kind of people from all walks of life listening to it, not just Cork City fans, but there's a lot of
the love for not just him, for his family as well.
Yeah, and what they've achieved in a footballing and a business sense in Cork,
and what they've done for the city, I think.
Yeah, and hopefully what they'll continue to do for the city over time as well.
It was great.
It was brilliant, and we got 2 watches out of it as well. Brian gave us a watch each. Which
he did. He was checking me on the in the Tony 40. He was saying, "Where's the watch?"
Was he? Yeah, I didn't see him now, but I actually collected Brian to bring him out for the pod, and he had the watch in the car for me and all. So lovely fella, like Brian, absolute gent,
lovely guy, and even better that we got the win against Waterford in the cup, which obviously takes us into the next round.
Cup, we joked at the start of the year we'd love a cup run. We're getting a bit of a cup run here.
There is a run happening,
and we're off to
Ballybuffet.
I'd call that a run. It's more of a trek or a hike.
Probably one of the longest you could get.
Just, I think, a little bit, depending on which way you go, a little bit shorter than the trip to Derry, but
probably longer to get there in terms of the slow route.
Maybe, I think if you're coming back, if you're in Derry and you're coming back this way, like around that kind of side of the country, you pass Harps on the way back.
Yes.
So, but there's so many ways to get to these places now.
Yeah.
But that is the thing. It's a long trip to Ballybuffet next Friday. Or next Thursday, depending on when people are going up.
Yeah, I know, but it's an exciting one. Look, I know the league is the most important thing at the moment. Okay, the cup is a nice distraction. We have said that. But I think one knocks off. It kind of has an impact on the other, without a doubt.
Yeah, but like if you're still in the cup and you're playing cup games and winning cup games, as you would if you're staying in the cup, that's going to create momentum anyway that you can take into league games. So,
and that momentum did definitely carry into last week. I wasn't there, but I obviously saw the result and stuff like fantastic. The boost that you want to beat Waterford again. Waterford seemed to be our lucky team.
It's been great, isn't it? Yeah.
I know we were unlucky away at the start of the season, but since then it seems.
Yeah, well, look, we played them 5 times this year and we've won. It's 3-2 to
definitely
us.
a ton was crossed. Like, anyway.
Yeah, it's 3-2 to us over the 5 this year. So we've got the bragging rights for the year. Yeah, the 2 games, to be honest, we'll go back to the cup game first because we didn't really get to talk about that. Matthew Murray's goal early on.
Oh,
phenomenal.
Yeah.
Caden's header to win it.
But the emotion in Caden, like into the shed. What a moment for him. You know, he'll never forget that no matter what he does in football.
First City goal into the shed, which is what we always say. It's where you want to score into the shed. I actually got a video of it pitch side. I was behind the goal with the camera.
I've never seen the video,
and you could see even, like, I tried to turn to the shed straight after it happened and like it's pandemonium in there. Like it was unbelievable. So that was brilliant. Waterford again in the league, which was realistically the more important of the 2 Waterford games. And same again. Won it again. Phenomenal.
So
Conor Brand, just we talk about Conor Brand the last couple of weeks. My God, he's been a revelation.
He's done fantastic.
He's been absolutely incredible the last couple of weeks. The last Waterford game, actually, the league game, Hamer was there, the Irish manager, and he had a good chat with Conor Brand in the tunnel after the game. So everybody is thinking Conor's doing a very good job and is happy to tell him he's doing a good job. Matthew Murray again.
Yeah, how is he? Is he okay?
He's okay, I think. Yeah, he got absolutely clattered scoring the goal and he went off.
Celebrate it.
But he got the man of the match and he was in doing the interview afterwards. And like 17-year-old like that doing your first interview after a big match on live TV. And
did he just get his leaving cert results as well?
Yeah. The day of the Bows game.
I know, like the Bows game obviously was the blip in between, but look, I suppose what a month it's been for Matthew. Like that kind of nearly kick-started with that goal he got a Parky Huive. Like,
the run of form. Like,
And he's kind of really got a hold of a place in the team nearly at this stage now. And he's kind of, we said it earlier in the year, who's going to be the next guy? Do you know, because Cahill broke through, Jaden broke through last year. Who's going to be, there's nearly always someone. Yeah. And it looks like it's Matthew's really kind of being the next kind of, I suppose, graduate from the academy. Burst through, like.
We always talk about that. Yeah, he has. Yeah, there's been a couple of players this year, I suppose, step up. Had been involved last year, so like Matty Kiernan is another one who's been phenomenal. Another one who got his leaving cert results that morning. Yeah. But yeah, no, there's a real, there always is with Cork City teams, but there's a young Cork core
which is
to the squad, and they're doing well, which is what we want.
Yeah, no, in fairness, like, because like there was a lot of changes there, you know, in the end of June or whatever into July, and a lot of players left and new players kind of came in as well, and then some of the younger lads kind of stepped up because there was injuries as well.
Yeah,
people were probably terrified when we got so many injuries again. You know, there were a good few lads missing. Like, I mean, Fiacre, who we have on the podcast today, you know, obviously got injured, and like there's just like always setback.
There's something every week, nearly, like,
But it's opened the door for some of these young lads to come in and say, look,
let's take their claim and kind of make a mark, which they've done.
Yeah,
and will hopefully continue to do for the remainder of the games this season as well. What have we 8 left?
Yeah,
7 left, something like that.
And I suppose it was good the fact that Sligo only got a draw last Saturday.
Well, so. See, that's the thing. Like, we obviously have our own games to concentrate on, but we do kind of have to look.
Yeah, but that was 2 points closer to them after, you know, than we were Friday morning.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? So you kind of have to look at those things as well.
Yeah. And obviously Galway are in the mix now. I think Galway and Sligo are level on points, so they're right in the mix with us as well.
Yeah. So, like, who knows?
Yeah,
I think things are more optimistic now than they were a couple of weeks ago.
One of my favourite parts over the last week or so was Matthew Murray was asked in his post-match interview, do you think Cork City can do it? Cork City can stay up? And he's like, yeah, of course we can. Like, it's just
you love that.
Energy, it's what you want to hear, and it's like, of course we can.
Yeah.
Like, it's not, nothing is done. Of course we can.
Yeah.
And that needs to be the mentality across the board. Like, it's like, we're still here.
Am I right in saying there was a bit of optimism in the women's camp as well last weekend?
Yeah, it was a 1-1 draw.
I know it wasn't a win, but at the same time,
it was one of those games. Talking to Craig afterwards as well, we could have had a couple of chances towards the end. There was a couple of chances throughout the game, to be honest. But Zoe Finnerty had a header off the crossbar. There was a chance at the end where it was like pinball in the box. I honestly don't know how DLR kept it out. The goal we did score was very early on. I think it was only 3 or 4 minutes in. Holly O'Hagan, another academy graduate. We talk about the men's team, but there's been probably a longer line of academy players making the step up. On the women's side this year, and it was brilliant goal. I know the LOITV stream, I think, glitched out as we scored it, so the goal was missed. But Anya Walsh was phenomenal down the left. She's been brilliant since she came in. Played it across the box. Holly O'Hagan just slotted it in. great finish for a defender being that far up the pitch. Phenomenal finish. And DLR equalised, managed to get a point in the end. But another game that we could have been very disappointed to come away with just the 1 point. Like, we should have had more. And this weekend now tomorrow we're recording this podcast on Friday, but it's a trip to Dalymount tomorrow. Bows lost out last weekend in the All-Ireland Cup final, so they'll be raring to go and wanted to put that right. So be an interesting one up there.
Yeah, so hopefully that this kind of confidence is kind of kicking in a bit now, like in the fact that they got the draw last week, and hopefully, more good results to come.
Hopefully, yeah, absolutely.
The academy have been, a lot of the academy have been travelling all over, not just Ireland, across Europe in recent weeks, between games in Holland, the games in England, and so like they've been all over the place. And I know Liam kind of mentioned it on the video. He did an interview with you this week.
I did a really quick piece with him just because there's been so much around the academy the last couple of weeks. There was the trips, as we've mentioned. There's the 6 academy players getting professional contracts,
which is fantastic.
International call-ups. The newest team has come in the last couple of months as well, which is the under 14s.
And I see they already have some friendlies lined up for them, I think, against Spurs and Arsenal.
Yeah, there's another. They're the next trip to come. So like, you can go watch that video. It's on all the Cork City social media channels, but it just kind of shows what's going on in the academy and what Liam and all the staff are doing, which is, as we always say, phenomenal work.
Unbelievable. It never stops.
Never.
They're always looking at the next, and as you said, they're under 13s just after coming in. It doesn't seem that long ago in the early days of this podcast where we were talking about a batch of under 13s who are under 15s.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like,
and we actually said in the video, the youngest group to come in, the 13s, are born in 2012. Terrifying. Yeah.
Which is the time that our next guest actually went to Scotland for the first time.
Yeah.
So we've been waiting a while to get this guy in, but I think the new club captain.
Yeah. New club captain. Happened very quickly as well when he joined the club.
So I think we had to get him in at some stage. He's recovering from an injury at the moment. So I think it's time to open the door and bring in Fiacre. Welcome to the podcast, Fiacre.
Yeah, thanks a million.
Or should I say welcome back to Cork after, I say, what was it? Well over a decade of not being living in the city.
Yeah, I was trying to work it out there a few months ago. I'd say I left when I was 16. It's 29 now, yeah, it's 13 years, yeah.
It's a long time.
Yeah, it is, yeah. It's strange actually being back now and just kind of, like I'd say I'm a bit settled now and stuff, so it's strange just having, just you kind of fall back into normality really, like straight away.
Yeah.
It's a bit funny, like.
You never lost the accent though. Some people kind of lose the accent a bit, but you didn't.
Yeah, not yet, but usually when I was over there, my wife would say, all right, that I lost it a little bit when I'd be speaking to...
Depends where you are.
Yeah. I was down in Essex for a little while. And
that's a strong accent too.
Thank God I didn't take up that accent, like, Jesus.
That is a strong one.
Bad, all right, yeah.
You'd be probably disowned back here then at that stage.
Oh, God, yeah. So my brothers would be hammering me there, like, if I changed the accent. So, you have to say true to the Cork accent.
And you come from a very sporting family, so sport was probably always part of the kind of, it was nearly on the agenda from day one, I'd say. Was it I know you started with of Avondale and Ringmahon and stuff like that, was it?
Yeah, that's where I started playing soccer, but I was, Jesus, we'd have thrown our hand at anything, we used to play a lot of tennis, used to play hurling for Blackrock underage, played a little bit with St. Michael's, not much. Tried my hand at rugby at Cork and things. But yeah, soccer was just the one that kind of I had the most love for really and the most enjoyment out of. So
yeah, because obviously we're Blackrock, that'd be strong hurling area of the city, so you could easily be swayed, I'd imagine.
Yeah, my dad was a big hurling man, and my two older brothers, Timmy and Olin, they were mad into hurling, so it was kind of they probably thought they were all following that suit, but me and Quiveen kind of...
You went to football route?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. We just had
Rebellious?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. We just had a love for it, that was strange, and the two of us then would just go off and play that together, so...
And was it both with Ringmahon, or did you start with Avondale? Which one?
No, I started with Ringmahon.
Yeah.
I was there for about 2-3 years, I'd say. Funnily enough, as my neighbour, they were short players one day, and my neighbour just called down to the house and said, oh, look, do you fancy come down and playing a game or whatever? So I went down and fell in love with it anyway. And then my age group, then about 2-3 years later, I think we were in Division 3 or 4, and Avondale at the time were in the Premier Division. So just kind of made more sense to go join up with them and get a better footballing.
Better
pedigree
football.
that way, you know, yeah.
So how did the Celtic move come about then?
So I'd gotten picked to play for the Irish under 15s, I think. And we had 2 friendlies against Belgium up in Dublin. And there was a Celtic scout there. And I think he just made the inquiry then with Avondale, could I come over for a week's trial? And at that time I'd been on trial to a few clubs, but when I went to Celtic, I just kind of felt more at home there than I suppose. And when they offered the contract, then sure, I was only delighted. Like,
I'm guessing there was a few Irish lads there at the time as well. They always tended to have a couple, like.
Yeah, well, sure, Owen O'Connell signed about 6 months before me, and Owen, I'd known Owen from Avondale as well.
Did you play together, or was he older than you?
He was a year older, but I'd go up and play with that age group as well, the odd times. So we kind of knew each other, and sure, like, he was over there then when I was there, and I knew 1 or 2 other Irish lads as well, one from Waterford, and there was one from Northern Ireland as well. And all those kind of things help when you're that age, that you have somebody to kind of share the experience with. And sure, having Owen, like, was just kind of having a piece of home with you, like, so.
Yeah, because I'd imagine, like, did you get homesick or anything at any stage? Because we're 16 going to Scotland, it's young enough, like.
Yeah, sure. I think I was actually lucky in a way. I didn't really understand what was coming with it when I decided to sign the contract and stuff, like. But sure, I remember the day I was leaving, I was just in buckets of tears, like, not wanting to go, not wanting to leave family. Yeah. And I was bad. I was always bad for homesick. Like, I'd say for about 3 years, I'd almost be upset every time I'd have to leave home and go back.
Summers were hard, so I'd imagine.
Yeah. You get a 4 or 5 weeks at home, and then sure, you'd never want to go back. Like, but you kind of find routine then after a week or so once you be back, and sure, you'd be fine again. But those early years are difficult enough. All right.
And do they put you into digs and stuff? Like, how does that work?
Yeah. They put you in with a family basically, and there'd probably be, I think in my house now there was 2 other lads. And usually the way they work it is they kind of stick an older lad in with 2 younger ones, and you kind of show them the way, and he's the one that's there for advice if you're feeling homesick and stuff. So it worked out really well, in fairness. But like the odd time then, like, there's nothing you can do. Like, if you want to go home, you want to go home.
Yeah, you want to go home.
And
did you continue on studies? Like, because obviously you're dropping out of school quite early here. Yeah. You probably only a junior cert or something, or transition.
I just done my junior cert, yeah. And sure, at that age, like, Jesus Christ, I had no interest in kind of continuing my studies really, but there's an obligation from the club's point of view that they have to give you some sort of education. So I did the equivalent of a leaving cert,
or a level thing or something.
Yeah, something like that. And we just used to go to school on a Wednesday then on our day off, and you'd go from 9 to 5, and that was every Wednesday after the first probably 2 years I think that I was there.
Kind of like you take a box exercise in many ways once a week.
After we'd go and we'd just have a laugh, like we'd leave at lunchtime and everything, like. Looking back, geez, we didn't give it any respect really, like. But so I kind of parked the education side then for a long while until I came back to it a few years ago. Sure, it was all right.
But you were Celtic for a good while, so like you were going in at 16, but like they probably have so many in their youth system. It's kind of hard to break through, I'd imagine. Is it like?
Yeah, it is. Geez, yeah, sure. I kind of find myself on the back foot straight away. Like I don't know. I suppose I didn't know anybody who'd gone over to England before. None of my friends or nobody that my parents knew had ever gone over. So I had no expectation of what was going to happen. But in my head, I was probably thinking, I'll just go over. I'll play up to a few ages, and I'll play for the first team, no hassle kind of thing. And sure, then you go there, like, and like, I was only training 2-3 nights a week back here, but then you go over there and it's full time, and it just hit me hard. Like, I was miles behind in terms of my technical ability and stuff.
And you put that down to, like, I suppose back then there was no, like the way we have academies now at the club, you know, there's 13-year-olds, 14-year-olds coming in, and our young lads are playing teams in Spain and they're playing teams in England. There was none of that for your age profile.
Nah.
So there was no technical development.
Yeah, none at all. We used to do a thing out in Blarney. I forget what it was called now, but it was just like, you do that on a Monday night. It'd kind of be all the best players in Cork at your age group, and you go out and get a bit extra training there.
In the Cork Schoolboys League team, kind of.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you do that another night. But then the rest, then you'd probably train once more with Avondale, like, and sure, you'd play a game on Saturday, but that's only, 3 nights a week of training, like. And then you're going into an environment where you're in 9 o'clock every morning and you're doing double sessions every day and you're leaving at 5 and
Full-time job.
like, yeah, sure. I remember I was knackered for the first 3 months. Like I wouldn't have been the fittest of boys back then. I still probably haven't. Like, so I struggled massively at the start.
And would that kind of get into your head from an early stage that you said they're way ahead of me? Like as a 16-year-old, like you start questioning yourself.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And then sure, you don't have your support system over there then either. Like, so for me now, when I look back, like all those lads who go over for a year or two or so and then come back and play League of Ireland, like it's just because like you don't have a support system over there to help you when things are going bad. You know, the rest of the lads from Scotland be going home to their families and get all that kind of help.
They'd be there at the weekend. They'd be going home at the weekend, whereas you had to stay there.
Yeah,
probably,
exactly. Yeah, and somebody to voice their problems and issues with. Like, whereas my mum or dad would phone me every evening, and you kind of just give them the same spiel. You wouldn't really tell them what's going on. Like,
you nearly didn't want to bring the upset on them as well. I'd
yeah,
imagine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sure, they had my mum and dad, I think, as well had the expectation that things were just going to go great, and I was going to end up in the first team. Like, and yeah, we were just a little bit clueless, like I suppose. So yeah, I kind of found myself really at the bottom of the pile when I went over there, and then it's kind of just sink or swim then really, and you just
Does it come to a stage then where you kind of finish youth level and they offer you a contract, a professional contract, and then they put you out on loan or something? Did that happen?
Yeah, so that happened for me. I think I signed a 2.5 year deal when I was 16. So yeah, when I turned about 18, there was probably a moment there where I remember, so the boys from my age group, you'd get moved up to the training centre where the first team would be. And all the lads got moved up before I did. So I was probably the last of my age group to make that jump over to kind of where the reserves were like. And I think that probably stood me in good stead then, because it was kind of a case of, right, if I'm the last fella, I'm either going to go home here now or I can give it a good whack for 6 months and see what happens. And I eventually made it over there, and I'd say within the year then I'd managed to be captain of the under-19s, basically the kind of reserve team there. And yeah, I don't know, things just changed very quickly in a short space of time for me, but maybe that was just because the penny kind of dropped. Yeah.
And you got a call for the Irish under-19s at the time then as well?
I did, yeah, exactly.
So it probably kind of coincided with that moment.
Yeah, that kind of came together at the same time. And then, you know yourself, then you get a kind of confidence in yourself and you start to believe that, you know, you're actually better.
My life is here, I can do this.
Yeah, I can do this. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then once you kind of get that confidence, then sure, the ball just starts rolling and you just kind of run with it. Like, and yeah, things at that stage then were going really well. But I was still probably at that age where I wasn't really going to play for the first team, like, so I needed to go out and get some experience. So I went to a team called Peterhead in the League One up in Scotland, which is like, Peterhead is honestly like the end of the world. Like, it's about an hour and a half past Aberdeen. Like,
was it that far up?
Yeah. So
I was really in the wilderness there.
Oh God, but it was like 3.5 hours from Glasgow. I remember the journey. I'd have to do it on a Wednesday night to go up and train, come back down, and then
so you're still based in Glasgow and just commuting?
Yeah.
Why were they part-time or something?
They were part-time, yeah. You'd only train on a Wednesday night with them. Yeah. And then I'd train the rest of the week with Celtic.
So go up twice a week, kind of, like, go up on a Wednesday, play on a Saturday?
And play on a Saturday, yeah, exactly, yeah. So it was just mad, like, but I loved it.
But it was men's football too.
Men's football, exactly. And you were we'd all get a minibus up on the Wednesday and for the game on Saturday. And I remember just having an absolute laugh on the bus with the lads, just some of the stuff that were going on in that minibus, like, was hilarious. Like, and there was Simon Ferry at the time. I don't know if you know him. He does the Open Goal podcast up in Scotland.
Oh yes,
yeah. So he was playing for Peterhead at the time. I'm sure he's gas man. Like, so we'd some crack, like.
So fun, kind of like core memories there from that early stage of your football career.
Yeah, sure. Like, back then, like I had my contract with Celtic and I was going out playing men's football, and there was kind of no worries. Like, it was just kind of go out and enjoy it and give it a good lash and see what happens. Like,
and be able to celebrate back in Glasgow then, like, at the weekends, go out like as a young fellow out in Glasgow.
Yeah, and just kind of do,
which is a great city to be in. Like, it's a kind of a bustling city. Like,
yeah, exactly. And sure, I was dating my wife now at the time. She was probably in her leaving cert at that time.
Was she from
She's
Cork?
from Cork as well, yeah.
Okay.
She's from Blackrock as well. So
Okay.
she'd come over like maybe probably once a month, I'd say, just for a weekend, like, and sure, we go out in Glasgow then and just have a bit of crack, like, and do whatever we wanted, like. And that time then it was great, like, sure, you could just kind of, you were on your own. I was living in an apartment by myself, which was nice, like, kind of grew up pretty quick then, you know.
So when did the Celtic kind of chapter kind of finish?
I'd say I kind of had a period where I was kind of training a little bit with the first team. I'd say probably about 2016, I'd say, and I was kind of training a bit with the first team, and I made the bench once or twice. I was kind of there for about 6 months, and I think that was, looking back now, probably that was their way of giving me a chance to see if I was good enough or whatever. And yeah, I just didn't make that final step, and I just wasn't really at that level, like. So I think after that 6 months, then I think I had a year left, and it was a case of like go back out and loan or whatever and see what happens. But I kind of knew then at that point, really, because I stopped going up with the first team. Then after about 6 months, I was like, right, it's time to move on.
You
here
need to find a club
and get start a new chapter. Yeah.
And did you get an agent for yourself then to kind of look for a club for you, or how does that come about?
Yeah. So I'd funnily enough, the scout who'd take me over to Celtic had a really good buddy that he knew from Northern Ireland, who was just starting out on his career as an agent, and he'd just finished playing. His name's Colin Murdoch. Kind of had a good career. He'd started off at Man United and played for Preston and Hibs and stuff. So he got in contact. And yeah, he was very friendly and just gave me great advice and stuff at the start. So I kind of signed with him. And then, yeah, lo and behold, he's been my agent then my whole career. And
so then you moved from Scotland down to England then?
Yeah. So he played a big part then in trying to help me find a club. Because like at that point, I'd only played about 30 senior appearances for Peterhead in League One up in Scotland. Like, so my portfolio didn't really speak much, I suppose. But he kind of, a lot of people trusted his word, and he helped me get a move down to Oxford United then down in England.
A club that would have been quite big at one stage, quite famous, but had kind of dropped down a number of divisions. So there was a bit of history there, but a kind of nice club to start your career with in England, like.
Yeah, it was, yeah. And like, again, like another kind of away from the football, just like a lovely place to live for a while, and like experience, like
student town.
Yeah, and just being around all that. So that was lovely. From a football point of view, like I ended up not playing for them. Like, I don't think I made any senior appearances. I came in, did pre-season with them, thought it went really well, and then just as the season was about to start, they're like, oh look, you should probably go out and loan for a little while. So that again, like, was another one of these like kind of setback moments, but sure, like, you just have to get on with it, really, like. And then I went on loan to a club called Solihull Moors, who were in the National League at the time. And again, then it's just kind of sink or swim. And I think I played about 40 games there that season, and we managed to stay up, and they were a part-time team again, like. But ended up like doing really well, and I think that's kind of,
was that the start?
That was kind of, the start, and where I kind of found out about myself and my game, and I suppose understanding what I'm really good at and what I struggle with, and just some great learning curves there for me, like, where I could really just understand my game a little bit better. And yeah, it stood me in really good stead that year then. And then from the back of that, then I managed to get a move to Macclesfield, who were just got promoted from National League up to League Two. So
so they were probably looking for the better players from the National League that they could carry with them into
League
Two, because they'd be kind of keeping an eye on people, I'd imagine. At that level,
exactly. Yeah, and I think I was of a good age at the time. I was probably 22. And I just probably impressed, I suppose, a few times that we played them that year and things. So yeah, after that season, I went back to Oxford United, did another pre-season, and again just got loaned back out to Macclesfield then in League Two. So
but you played a lot of football in Macclesfield, did you, over those kind of couple of years?
I did, yeah. So the start of that year, we started off really badly. Like, I was playing, but I don't think we won a game until like October time, so about 2 months in. And then Sol Campbell came in as manager, and we just kind of kicked off then when he came in. And I ended up having like a good spell under him really, and
Well,
and
yeah,
learned a lot.
as a fellow centre back, then was that good for you to have a centre back coming in as a manager and like somebody that was one of the best in the game in many ways?
Yeah,
Did you-
yeah.
like,
Honestly, yeah,
was
yeah.
he pulling you aside, giving you a few pointers and?
Yeah, he mainly like, and he would just focus on the defensive line and stuff, and like some of the points that he gave me during those like during that year with him, like I'd still probably carry through with me today, like, and he worked us like really hard, like his trainings were intense, like they'd go on for hours, like, and he was a bit mad now, to be honest,
Was
like,
he?
but some of the stuff was very good, like.
Yeah.
Like he'd take part in training a lot, like, and he was still a unit then, like, you know, and he'd be blowing fellas around the place, like.
But he was also a great ball player though, wasn't he? Kind of like, do you know, like he was one of the first of the kind of the English centre backs that kind of could play a bit of ball, like rather than just brute force.
Yeah, sure. He played for Arsenal, like,
Yeah,
you
they had to play ball for, and the invincible side and all that.
Exactly, yeah. So, yeah, like it'd be funny, like we'd be doing video analysis there one day, and like he'd be trying to show us stuff, but like all the clips would be of him doing it in training, like it'd never be of any of the lads doing it, like, so you'd be watching him basically doing all the drills, like. For sure, it's gas, like he's miles better than the rest of us, like at that level, and he was old then, like, you know.
And did you play a famous cup game? Because I remember your name coming on the TV at one stage, but I'm trying to remember what it was, but it was like Macclesfield were playing someone in the cup. And like, did you get a kind of
a hammering?
Did you get play a kind of higher team, like a Premier League team?
Yeah, we played West Ham.
Yeah,
we played West Ham.
And you were League Two, obviously. Like you were the kind of the new.
Yeah. We'd beaten Blackpool, I think. It was the kind
obviously you have to get through a few rounds,
the
like
Cup. No, yeah, exactly. Yeah, so we'd made it to the round where the big boys come in anyway. Sure, we buzzed with that, and then we drew West Ham away down at their stadium.
That's a nice opener.
Yeah, the hype, like, for sure we were buzzing going down there, like, and we did well for about 30 minutes, and then honestly they scored one and the floodgates just opened, but I think it ended up being 8-0.
Oh Christ.
And I swear to God, the second we were about 4-0 down at half time, I went into the dressing room, and I said none of us wanted to come back out, like, it's one of them where like.
And was Sol Campbell the manager at the time?
No. So this this was under the previous manager who he came in for. We were doing shite in the league, like, sorry, apologies.
You're grand. There's worse being said on this podcast.
Yeah, we were doing shite in the league, and but we just went on this cup run at that time, and that was a good memory. Well,
it was good and bad at the same time.
Yeah, exactly.
The journey to the stadium, maybe.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, scoreline not so much. Like
after Macclesfield, then did you go back to Solihull as well, or did you?
It was a little while longer actually.
Was
after Macclesfield. So for Macclesfield, then in my second season with them, COVID hit. So I was having a really good year that time up until March. I was captain of Macclesfield now at the time as well.
Yeah.
Everything was going great. I played a lot of games that season. And yeah, COVID hit, and then I remember Mark Kennedy, the former Ireland.
Oh yeah, that used to play for Liverpool.
Yeah, he was our manager at the time. And we were having, like, for months on end, we were having problems with getting paid. The owner was just like an absolute disgrace. Like we'd be getting paid like basically like halfway through the month, you get a little bit into your account. Wouldn't be all of it. And then he just hoped that'd be enough to like keep you playing.
Because there was obviously nobody in the crowds or anything. And
it was just crazy. Like,
even though they probably would have been getting wage subsidies and stuff, I'd imagine, because I know
this was before COVID.
Was this before COVID?
This build up, like, so
even worse again.
Even worse. Like, so then COVID hit, and we thought, oh my God, we'll never see any money. Like, but that furlough thing that came over in the UK was a lifesaver for us. Sure, that was paying our wages on time and stuff. But I remember Mark Kennedy calling us in the weekend, I think it was like first or second weekend in March, and we were meant to be playing I think it was like Crawley away or something. He was like, oh look lads, this COVID kind of thing has hit, like we're the game's been cancelled. So he was like, you have 3 or 4 days off, but he was like, I need you in over the weekend then. And I was like, oh buzzing, this was a Monday, so I was like, I'll go home till Friday and come back. and got home, and I never left then for about 4 months. Came back to Cork and COVID just took off. Moved in with my sister-in-law and her two kids at the time, and we're staying in the back bedroom in her place, and it was just mad. And I didn't play any ball then.
That was a strange time, I'd say.
Yeah. So and it was, do you know what? It was funny. Like, it was the first time I'd been home then for like a long stint since I'd left. So at the start, it was kind of really nice. Like, you're kind of around everybody. But then by like June, July time, I was itching to go back and play football. And sure, I was kind of like, felt like I was a little bit separated from it then. Like,
were you training here in the media?
I did a little bit, like, but sure, like, you couldn't really do much, like.
Yeah.
So I remember just then there was a whole problem of whether Macclesfield would even come back, like, because the owner they couldn't get hold of. And they had me contracted for another year, so I kind of couldn't get out of that contract and go sign somewhere else because they had kept me in contract and stuff. So then I remember it was like the middle of August, just saw it popped up on like Sky Sports News that the Macclesfield FC had gotten wound up, got a winding up order or something. So basically it was just done. Like, the club was
your contract
gone,
will be
like.
over, yeah.
So then I get an email saying my contract is finished and I can go for free. And then the season was starting in like 2 weeks, and I had like no club. So I was just panicking then, like, trying to get anything I could. And luckily Wrexham, who weren't too far from Macclesfield, like, but we're playing the National League at the time, we're just kind of like, oh, look, we need a centre half, so do you fancy coming down and playing for us? So I signed a 1 year contract with them.
And this was just before the whole takeover. There was kind of rumours of it, was there?
It had happened while I was there, basically. So I went in September, and then I'd say the manager at the time then was like, oh, look, he was trying to sell the club to me, basically. He was like, oh, look, there's potential new owners. Like, so he was like, if this year goes well for you, you never know, like, there might be a long-term contract there for you afterwards. And then about a month into it, the news had broke that Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney had bought the club, like, which was unbelievable, like, great news or whatever. But they kind of, for that first year then, they didn't really put any investment into it. It was just kind of like, they just wanted to, I don't know, get their bearings or whatever, and just kind of leave that season the way it was going.
In many ways, they were probably waiting for the TV show to start, I'd say. Just looking at...
I think, I don't know, I've never watched the series, to be honest. But I think the first few episodes, or first episode, was a few of the boys who I'd played with in that first few months. So that was kind of, I think, dedicating one episode to that year.
The guys that were loyal, kind of.
Yeah, kind of left a bad stain with a few of them. But yeah, they didn't really put any investment, so nothing really changed for that whole year that I was there, really. And then coming to the end of that year, I think I'd played like every game that season pretty much, done really well. We'd missed out on playoffs by a point, but like, we were a team that like our wage bill wasn't high at all. I'd say we were very low in that league, and we'd like done really well.
And it was a different manager to the guy that's there now, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So basically a few days later, manager gets a phone call saying thanks for everything he's done, but they're going to go elsewhere. And then I'd say the majority of us,
he brought his own lads in, I presume.
Kind of just left, or our servicing weren't wanted either. And sure, then after that, then I think that pre-season, then there was just like massive signings, and it took off. So to be fair to them, they probably were like thinking they can attract a lot bigger players now than myself and stuff, from like League One and places like that. So,
would you feel bad that you kind of missed out on that after having a good season with them?
Not bad, like, because I actually in my own mind I couldn't have like played actually any better than what I did, but and
the fact that you challenged everything,
just the caliber of player that was probably in their head was a lot better than what I could ever offer, even at my best. So I just kind of make peace with it, really. And at the back of that, then I ended up actually getting a really good move to Bradford City, who
Was
were
that back
big
into
League Two club
League
at the
Two
time.
again?
Yeah.
It would have a big enough stadium as well, haven't they, Bradford?
Oh, massive. Yeah. Sure, we'd had like the average attendance there would have been about 15,000, 16,000
For
every
League Two,
week.
that's big.
Yeah, massive. So actually playing there was incredible. And yeah, so I got a move there, which was great. Back into League Two again, which was kind of what I wanted. And yeah, from there then, just kind of stuck around League Two for a few years, like.
Until you decided to come home.
Yeah.
So, how did that come about? Had you made your mind up that you were kind of going to leave English football and did the two of you kind of say, will we go home kind of thing? Or how?
No, it was very strange. It's like one of these things that like, I don't know, you can only put down to fate or something. I don't know. It was we'd had my baby boy, Raymond, in March of this year.
Yeah.
And I was having a decent enough season with Colchester at the time, and we were like pushing for playoffs and stuff. But I suppose coming to the end of that season then, which was just in May, we were packing up to come home, and we were just talking to my wife, and we were just like, because she's from Blackrock then as well, we were just like, oh, I don't know, our opinion of what we wanted in life. I suppose we bought a home up in Manchester or in Stockport, and we always thought we'd just settle down there, and that's where we'd want to live. And then when we had Ray, it was just like, I don't know, we just thought about, right, we want him to kind of grow up where we grew up and have the same childhood that we've kind of had. So we're like, right, eventually we'll make a plan in 3 or 4 years that we'll move home. I was like, I'll give it maybe 1 or 2 more years over here in England, and then we'll make plans to come back. And then while I was at home, then probably about coming to the end of May, Jared only got in the job about a week, and he'd sent me a text.
And did you know him?
I'd met Ger, I'd say, when he was just starting out his coaching career at Ipswich. I went over as under 14, just having a trial.
Oh yeah, okay.
And he was like my coach at the time there. Then when I went over for that week, and he was just one of these guys. Like I just kind of like I didn't forget him, because he was Irish, and it was kind of a connection in that way.
Which is probably kind of rare at youth level anyway.
Yeah, exactly. And he was so young at the time. He was a very young coach, like, because his career obviously had to stop.
Yeah.
And I remember he's very enthusiastic, and he was just a young Irish coach over there, and just kind of the name and everything that stuck with me over years. And then in May, then he sent me a text and was just like, "Oh look, just got in the job. Do you want to meet up for a cup of coffee or whatever and have a chat?" So I met him. We just kind of caught up, and things just kind of kicked off from there. Then really, and he just kind of asked me, would I like to come in, and is it something that I'd like to do? And then I just had to go home and have a discussion with my wife then and see if that was kind of
something that she'd be interested in.
Yeah, because my wife had a job and still has a job, over in the UK, that she loves, and we just kind of had a setup over there that we weren't going to move for a little while. So yeah, I kind of had to go back and see kind of if it would work for her as well as me. So yeah,
that's the challenge, isn't it? Like, a lot of people don't realise that as a footballer that moves around, and you've had a few clubs, and some of the lads that have been on the podcast, it's like, it's not just you, it's, you know, your wife, it's the family, the small fella. No, like, there's other people at play. Like, you can't just make a decision for yourself in many ways.
No, not like I say to people all the time, like, not at this level. Like, it's fair enough if people expect that, say, of my brother, like, where you're getting paid,
where you kind of nearly have to.
Exactly. You do it because, look, the pay is incredible and it's going to sort you out for the rest of your life. Here, you're just kind of, you have to make decisions based on where you want to be in 5 or 10 years. And it's not something where, you know, the financial gain is massive. It's just kind of, you're doing it to enjoy your life. And so yeah, it was just a decision for us to kind of see if we want to come back now. And luckily when I kind of brought it up to her, then she was absolutely delighted, like, and sure, I was only delighted as well. So it was funny timing, and just the whole thing with my little boy, just kind of and having that kind of plan that we move back in a few years, and then the opportunity just coming up. I just, with your starting out, I didn't want to really miss out on that opportunity, you know.
Yeah, and like, would you have been a Cork City fan growing up? Would you have gone to the Cross, or was it kind of something on your radar? No,
Not really. No. Like I say, my dad was like a hurling man, really. Like, so he wouldn't really.
you would have spent
Have
more
it-
time watching
Yeah,
Black Rock, or whatever. Like, yeah.
he was a Downey's man and stuff. So kind of like just spent their time watching that. And yeah, for some reason, never. My sister now, my older sister, would have gone to Turner's Cross all the time, when she was in her teenage years and stuff. And a lot of my friends would have went, but I just never, like, I went to a few games now, bear in mind, but I wouldn't have been there every week, you know.
Yeah.
But at that age, like, sure, I was just one of these kids. Like, I couldn't sit down and watch a game of football. Like, I'd have to just go out and play. And
You were one of those lads who want to play, like, rather than watch.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
And did you know any of the lads coming in, like any of the players?
No. So that was kind of.
You'd never played with any of them before anywhere.
No. Obviously, I like, as in, like, you'd know a few of the older boys because they had a career, like Greg Bulger and stuff. His career speaks for itself, and Shawnee's obviously been over in England and things like that, and Keith.
Had you marked any of them more, like Shawnee or Keith, or any of them at any level? No,
never. No. Funnily enough,
yeah.
So like, I kind of know of them, but I kind of had no relationship with them. And Shawnee sent me a text, to be fair, which was really nice. He sent me a text around the time that I was kind of meeting Ger and kind of trying to decide what I want to do. And yeah, he just sent me text to see if, like, if he could help in any way and help me make a decision, or if I wanted any advice, or if I wanted to know anything about kind of the training week or anything like that. So yeah, like, that was kind of the start of it then with those lads. Like, they've been brilliant since I've come in, really. Like, they've been.
And there's a senior group of players there, like there's a few of them, which it kind of helps, like, because obviously a lot of younger lads there too.
Yeah.
There's a kind of two camps in.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. Kind of one change room and the other is like.
Yeah.
But no, we like that senior group is very good. Like, they're very close as well, and that's a good thing that's going for the dressing room anyway, because I've been in a few dressing rooms where you'd have older groups or older players who'd kind of clash, and then it can kind of, the dynamic in the change room just doesn't work then. But
egos and stuff like that.
A little bit, yeah. Whereas, to be honest, most of the senior boys are very good, and they get along really well, which is really good. Like, you know,
you came in at a time when the club was struggling. Not easy time to come in, and then you had to wait as well to play. Like, so that in itself, I'd say, was a challenge, was it?
Yeah, I was more fearful that I wasn't fit, and that I just wouldn't do myself justice. Like, because at that stage, by the time I'd kind of signed and been eligible to play, it had been the bones of 8 weeks that I'd been off. And any footballer will tell you, like, the time left to yourself trying to train is it's nowhere near that. You'll never get close to that level that you need to be at to play a football match. Like, so my worry was about that, really, and about my fitness and things, and whether how quickly I could get that up to match fitness. And then, yeah, the Shelburne game obviously didn't go great. I think that was my first game on the bench. And then Waterford the week after. I was thinking, yeah, here we go now, let's have a good start. And that didn't really go as planned either. So
there was a few tough games at the start, yeah.
Yeah, there was, yeah.
But coming into a team that's struggling with confidence, I'd say, is also difficult. Like, and then there was a transition of players as well. There was a lot of lads who could leave.
Yeah, like, people, like, I know France definitely can get frustrated, and I can see why, but like, playing with new lads and learning how they play and what they like to do is very difficult. Like, especially when you're two new centre-halves. Well, I think me and Rory played that day, and Greg came off, and then Rory went to right back and stuff, and it just felt like it was chopping and changing all the time. And you're trying to develop a partnership where you're just trying to, like, get into that rhythm where, like, I know what Rory's going to do. Yeah. Rory knows what's going to happen in this situation, and yeah, it just becomes very difficult when we're having the amount of injuries that we've had as well. Like, just makes it very hard, like, you know.
But do you find that, I know you've got injured in recent weeks, but there has been a slight kind of shift in terms of confidence. The lads starting to believe in themselves. Maybe they're getting used to Jordan Dave's routines. Like, definitely the performances have got much stronger.
Yeah. And listen, that like, again as well, like, it's definitely down to the manager and Dave and stuff and how they train, and that also takes like a good few months for lads to, you know, start coping with and then start thriving with it. But like the team is so young. Like, a lot of these boys will be their first time playing the League of Ireland, like Premier Division, and it's probably taking them to now to kind of really understand what is needed to win games at this level. And I thought Waterford now the other night, since I've been here anyways, was the best we've played.
Yeah.
And just playing with the most control that I've seen us play with, really, like, you know.
And that kind of confidence gives them self-belief going into the next round. It's a pity the international fixtures kind of came about. No, it's probably the wrong time for them.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it is really, like, I suppose. But at the same time, then it kind of helps with myself as well. It's giving me that kind of extra week where I can just focus on my rehab and try to get back fit and get closer to the starting 11.
So how far off do you think you are?
Not too far, really. I'll hopefully start training on Monday.
Yeah.
Then it's just a case of how quickly can I get fit, and
you won't make the cup game anyway against Harps, I'd say.
No, probably not. I'd say no. A week would probably be too quick. But yeah, no. Listen, the rehab's gone really quick. Like, in the end, I think it only took me about 4 weeks to get back on the grass. Like, which I was delighted with. Yeah, no, I'll be at. I'm 5 weeks today, I think. So yeah, if I'm back fit by next Friday, I'll be really happy. Like, you know.
Yeah, because the club has got an awful dose of injuries this year. Like, it's just been one of those seasons where nearly everyone has been struggling with it at some point.
Yeah. Like, I was speaking to Howie about it. Like, I didn't really know of the big injuries before I came in, but obviously, like, Keith's doing his Achilles, like, is, what was it, 2 games in or something?
That's all.
Like,
yeah.
Like, he's a massive miss, and then
Shawnee was missing for a while,
exactly,
and then Cahill, obviously, and so,
and that's the problem when a lot of your senior boys are missing. The rest, you just can't, like, you can cope with maybe 1 or 2, but when it's 3 and 4, you're in trouble. Like, really, you know, it's very difficult to replace them. Like,
and even the fans, the mood with the fans has changed a bit in recent weeks as well.
Yeah, and we said that in the change room, like the last 2 games against Waterford now and Galway, and even Sligo as well. To be fair, like, they were brilliant. Like, they were right behind us, and you can turn us cross as well. You can really feel that as well, like, because they're right on you, like,
especially the shed is kind of up top.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and you can, like, they're nice and lively, like. So yeah, obviously the Sligo one didn't go our way, but the three after that, then, like, Jesus, it feels like they're with us anyway, and it feels like they're
even to get a draw in Derry as well, like, was another, you know, I know there wasn't many fans up there, but it was a great result. Gives you confidence against a good team, a good Derry team.
Exactly. Yeah. I know, listen, like, things are definitely going in the right direction. Like, there'll always be hiccups every now and again, but, like, I just feel like if you look at where we are now versus probably the start of July, like, we're miles ahead of where we were, you know.
Were you surprised when John asked you to be captain?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, in fairness, yeah. Yeah, I was shocked. Like, I don't really. It's one of those things. It was a lovely thing to be asked.
Were you captain before?
At other clubs, like, yeah. I'd been at Macclesfield for a year or 2. I'd been at Solihull for a little bit, I think. And yeah, I think at that point I'd for a few games anyway, at most clubs I'd been a captain at some point or another.
Yeah. So does leadership kind of come like naturally to you in terms, like, giving directions and stuff?
I think I'm just a very, very vocal person on the pitch, regardless of whether I'm a captain or not, to be honest. And that's just how I play the game, because if I can get somebody else to do my work for me, I'm gonna make sure they can do that, like, you know. And yeah, I've always just been a very, very loud person on the pitch, and tried to lead by example, I suppose. So yeah, some managers will like it and others might not, you know, but I just tried to be myself, and George is kind of, maybe, I don't know, yeah, maybe he liked that about me or whatever, but yeah, listen, I was happy out to be asked to be captain, you know.
So like, does not mean the game's running out,
Yeah.
but is there still a belief that you can do it?
Jeez, yeah, no doubt, really, to be honest with you. Like, I think it's at 8 points gap now. Still have to play Sligo, still have to play Galway. Like, there's plenty of points left to play for. I know we're people call it the Great Escape or whatever, but it's not. To us anyway, it doesn't feel like that. It just feels like we have an opportunity here to get out of it. Like, it doesn't feel like it's going to be the Great Escape to get out of it. It's achievable. Like, it's definitely achievable. We just have to remember the good things that we're doing in games now, where we're keeping clean sheets, we're doing all the horrible stuff, as they say, like landing on second balls, tracking runners, all those kind of things. And yeah, we have a solid base now of where everybody needs to be.
The foundation blocks have been built.
Yeah, exactly. So look, it's coming at a good time as well. I think we're coming into a run. Obviously, Rovers will be our next league game. That's one that you look at and say that's going to be a really tough game. If we take anything from that, you're going to be happy.
And I'd imagine a good cup run, I know it's a bit of a distraction, but it can bring optimism as well.
Absolutely.
Self-belief, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it keeps everybody fresh and on their toes, and keeps a real buzz around the change room and stuff, like, and yeah, like it could, as in, like, if we were out of the cup now, you know, you might feel like there might be a drop in intensity or whatever, but like the cup runnings is just like giving us so much energy to want to finish the season really strong, and hopefully, you know,
maybe repeat what Drogheda did last year, which is survive the playoff and win the cup.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly. So, yeah, exactly. Like, so it can be done.
They've shown that it can be done.
Yeah. So listen, we're full of optimism and full of hope, and never know.
What's the standard of football? Like, I've asked some of the other lads this before. Like, is it much different from the League Two?
Not really. No. Not from what I've experienced so far. I know I've only played a handful of games, but it's really not that different.
Some good players.
Yeah, exactly. And like the I suppose the things that win you games in League Two are the exact same things that win you games over here in the League of Ireland. Like, being good without the ball is a massive factor in both leagues, really. Like, you have to be keeping clean sheets to you know, remain in the league in both leagues. So yeah, like the basics and fundamentals of how to do well in League Two are very much the same as League of Ireland. Like, and she, you know, like a lot of players come back here who can easily play at League Two level, but it's just they want to play at home and stuff, you know. And yeah, so for me, there's no real big difference, to be honest.
You mentioned your brother. We're like, oh, is that a kind of a hard thing or a good thing that he's also played in England, but he's obviously played in the Premier League and you're playing League Two? Like, did you find that a struggle or
Jeez, no.
Are we, like,
I don't know. I never really thought.
Never thought.
As in, like, he's my younger brother, so I kind of.
He followed in your footsteps, obviously, and you probably did the hard work in terms of going over first.
Yeah, I suppose, like, my especially for my mum and dad, they'd probably learnt kind of what the path entails for him going over, you know, and kind of that there will be struggle with it and things, but nah, he's just blossomed. Like, all like, it's been amazing to watch what he's done. Like, and I can only see it through the eyes of being his brother. Like, there's no I don't really see it from a point of view of
jealousy or anything like that. Yeah,
I just
but you were obviously close. If you were living in Stockport or that area, you weren't a million miles away from each other, I presume.
I'm not sure when he was playing for Liverpool at the time, so he was staying. At one point, he was within walking distance of me. And then when we bought our home in Stockport, he was about a 15-minute drive away. And that, to be fair, from the point that I'd left to go over and play football and he'd left, that was kind of the closest that we'd been then for a number of years because we could just go over to each other like once or twice a week and just.
Probably good for family coming over as well
exactly,
to see.
Yeah, exactly. We were so close, like, and we could just go over and we love playing darts and stuff, and we'd go play darts or snooker or play a game of ping pong or something, you know. And we, like, it was good to just have him back as a brother, like, and just be able to do all those silly things with him, like, and
because that's something that you miss out when you're over away from the rest of the crew, like, kind of in many ways, isn't it?
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, you just miss like the silly things, like, you know. And to be honest, between the two, like between me and him, we don't really talk about football all that much, like, as in we support each other and we send each other texts every weekend to say best of luck, and but like, we just kind of, I don't know, we just talk about stupid stuff. Like, I love movies, like he'd be the similar, like we'd love going to cinema and things now and talking about new movies. And
I see he was asked about joining Cork City at a press conference during the week. So like he said maybe at some stage, but I don't think he's coming anytime soon.
Yeah, no time soon, I'd say.
Obviously he's gone to a different part of England, so he's had to move, I presume. So like he would have gone as well. So you're both gone from the area now. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. So funnily enough, he's kind of moved closer to where I was at Colchester.
Oh yeah, of course.
So he kind of separated now again, but sure. Like Queeve comes home whenever he can now, so it'll be nice that, you know, that I'll be around here now and we can just see each other at home and
back with the other brothers then.
Like, exactly, yeah. So it's kind of lovely to have that now. But yeah, I'll go up and he's playing obviously with Ireland on Saturday, so tomorrow. So I'll go up and watch that.
And I suppose that's something as well that you probably didn't get a chance to do that often when you're playing League Two, because they don't break for the international break, do they?
Yeah, no, very rarely. You'd have to get a few players to leave to get your game cancelled, which is very rare at that level. And yeah, the benefits of playing Friday night football, like you can just go. I could go up now and see him tomorrow, and things like that are beneficial. Like,
so you're loving being back in Cork, so.
Yeah. No, honestly, it's been class, really. Sure, like my family now, like I don't think they'd see me around so much. And for Ray, like our little boy now as well, like it's lovely for them to kind of see him every day and be around him, and it's been really nice. Yeah.
And I presume they get to come to the cross and stuff like that.
Oh, geez.
I think I've seen your wife and Ray in the cross anyway. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. She'll be there, rain, hail or snow. Like, as long as I'm playing, she'll always be there. And yeah, it's lovely for my brothers now. It's kind of, they're kind of taking their kids to the cross, which was something that kind of wasn't tradition in our family, but they're kind of starting to know it there.
So something new.
Exactly. Yeah. New traditions and things. So,
and you've probably seen that with the fans.
Like,
there's a lot of like different generations with kids coming to the cross and stuff like that. So it is nice. Like,
yeah, from what I've seen and like it's becoming a lot more families kind of coming. I have, or my wife has a nephew, and a lot of his friends now, they'd go with their mums and dads and stuff, and they love it. Like, they just love coming down. They love the buzz of it. They love seeing the shed going absolutely berserk around goal times, and even if they're not so interested in the football, it's just the whole experience that comes with it. And it's funny, like they don't have to go far for a good football experience, like, you know.
And I think if we can get that message out to the bigger audience, that there's great football here locally as well, that they, like, you can still support the teams across the water, but get behind your own team.
Yeah, exactly that. Like, you can support your teams on a Saturday night when, like, a Chelsea or Man City, but like, come down and support us. Like, I mean,
you can support Brentford and Cork City at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, sure, we all know, like, but I think the hardest part is getting people to come in the first place. As most people know, once you come, you get kind of addicted quite quick, don't you, into the buzz of it and the community feel about it. So, yeah, hopefully now, if we, and I know a lot of the big part of getting people down is whether Cork City are doing well or not, and that plays a big factor in attracting people. So, look, if we pick up some more good results and hopefully go on a cup run, or
you never know, you might be going to the Aviva to play at the end of the season.
Yeah, exactly. You never know. Right?
Well, look, Fiacre, thanks a million for coming on to the podcast. It's been brilliant to hear your career, but we're looking forward to hopefully a long career with Cork City.
Yeah.
You're still late 20s.
Yeah. plenty
Plenty
gas
time left,
in
yeah.
me. Yeah, exactly.
So
So
hopefully we'll have you back in another while with even better stories to tell.
appreciate it, Stephen. Thank you.
Yeah, fascinating interview. And I think the big thing I took away from it is the confidence, like what you said, like what Matthew Murray has as well. There's the belief there that they can do it now, isn't there?
Yeah, but like I said earlier, there has to be.
Mm.
Like everyone involved in the club has to believe it,
Yeah.
and we do. It doesn't make for a pretty viewing when you look at the table, but nothing's decided yet. Nothing's over yet, so plenty to play for.
He's had such a big career as well. Like, you know, that experience that comes with all those different clubs and, you know, the different challenges that were there or whatever, like that's going to help, you know, especially when there's a lot of young players that we talked about as well. You need some of those senior boys to kind of bring them along.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like Fiacre's had so many clubs and he's so much experience, but he's still himself quite young. He's 29.
He is, yeah.
Like he's
yeah.
There's in the grand scheme of things, he's a young man, but he does have the footballing experience, and he is one of the senior heads in the dressing room that can give advice to, especially someone like we mentioned, Matthew Murray, who's 17, coming into the squad. So yeah, experience like that is invaluable for a team, especially as young as what we have.
I don't think his brother signed for us anytime soon anyway. Just
by the sounds of it, yeah, he's happy out in England for a while.
Those rumours.
Yeah, he didn't have much time for that, but look, fair play to him as well. He's at the top of his game in the Premier League. So
it's great, and we're always big champion here of talking about not just our own former academy players, but Cork lads and
Cork people in general.
In general,
yeah.
And because like there was a time where they were so young, we didn't have academy squads for them, so they come through our
they bypassed us altogether. Yeah,
whereas that's different.
Yeah.
You know, like it's different, and no, like it was brilliant to hear Fiacre's story, and I suppose even how it all came about, the connection with just. Even the fact that he had Ger as a coach, or he met him as a coach for the trial
years and years ago.
Like, that's amazing. That show you how young Ger was as a coach, which we had spoken about when he was in a few weeks ago. But like, football is a small kind of world.
It is. It's a very small world.
You know, it's but a fascinating world in terms of the journey it takes you. And the different places
and where you can end up, where in the world you can end up, or how you can.
And the amount of times bloody Wrexham ends up on this podcast.
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds will be giving us commission at this stage.
Almost a different era of Wrexham before that came in, but still Wrexham, yeah.
I don't know how many different, like, you know.
Malik as well,
Malik was there. I think there was one other as well. I can't remember now. There's definitely a couple of... there
was a Nathan Wood connection anyway when he was here, because he was playing in Wales and being around.
So there was a lot of Wales, that kind of stuff going on. So, I suppose there's always something happening, and the football world is small. But just listening to Fiacre, he's planning to have a kind of long career here.
Oh yeah, he wants to make a name for himself. Is the wrong way of putting it, because he's made a name for himself, but he wants to sort of cement himself in here as a successful Cork City player as well, which is exactly what we want from him and what everyone will want to hear. So that's encouraging. And
that is one small fella. Ray will see him playing for Cork City, you know, as he gets older and stuff like that. And he was saying that he already has nephews and stuff like that coming across. Like, and
brilliant. That's what we want.
And that's that family generation.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's exactly what we want.
So, he won't make it for Ballybuffet next week.
He spoke about his love for the cinema and going to see movies, so we could see him at the Arc.
We're back at the Arc next Friday. I was there for that the last time. I thought it was good against Derry.
Yeah, the tickets, good few tickets sold already. Actually, we put it out and I had a look shortly after, and there was a good few snapped up already. So, if you are looking to go, it's a very long trip again. So
it is, and a lot of
arccinema.ie is where you get your tickets.
The summer's over. A lot of fans are they could work, college, school. There's loads of different combinations.
Life just gets in the way. If
it was a Saturday night, they might have a better chance of getting up to Ballybuffet. Like, but
Friday's
a bit hard, you know. But a massive game. Like, to be honest, every game from now to the end of the season is big for us now, no matter what happens.
Absolutely, yeah. But this one could put you in a position where, if you get through this game and hopefully get a home cup semi-final, you're 90 minutes from the Aviva at that point. Like, so there's a lot riding on next Friday. So I can't wait for it. I won't be at the Arc. I'll be in Ballybuffet, but
bad. Yeah,
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's exciting. And then obviously we have Rovers after that. But look, we get through the cup first. We concentrate on the cup, get a good result in the cup, and then we move on.
Bring that back to the Cross for the Rovers game. The Shamrock game. Yeah.
The Shamrock game, yeah.
There's always a good one, for a good atmosphere for Cork City Shamrock Rovers at the Cross anyway. So no matter what time of the season it is, it's always an enticing one. So we promise we will be back on a weekly basis from now on, unless some sort of there's another injury strikes.
No, Jesus, I hope not. But we'll be back on a weekly basis for the running big running. What do we have? About 9-10 weeks left in total with all different cup runs and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, stay with us. And we'll definitely get more guests on as well. We've started a good run recently. Now
very good run, and we'll be back
with more
again next week. See you next week.
See you next week.